Hello, how are you doing? My name is Isaac Guerrero Jaimes, and I'm your brand experience strategist. Um, Today we're gonna talk about in this video. We're gonna talk about employee experience. And it is a very important subject that we need to discuss because the Great Resignation is happening now, and as I just read 2 days ago, Apple employees are reluctant to go back to the offices. Actually, it has something to do with how people feel at work. So this is employee experience. In that sense, we need to visit this concept that I coined in 2014, and I haven't been able to read someone else that did it before me. Employee experience. So, and I encourage you to visit my personal blog at Blogger. The link will be down here at the comments, at the description, sorry, of the video. So we need to understand what is employee experience, since automation is going to take a lot of the jobs, 50%, as Kai-Fu Lee said. Kai-Fu Lee was the ex Google China director. Right now, he has a venture capital company that invests in startups. So he said by 2030, uh, 50% of jobs are going to be impacted very importantly. And this means that people are going to get displaced by automation and AI. So, in that sense, and right now, the great resignation is happening, and people are reluctant to go back to the offices uh, because of the experience they remember they had. It's crucial to visit what employee experience that what the concept means. Okay, I'm sorry if my English it's not so good. Remember, it's not my second language, but I'm making the effort to deliver the concept to you. So in that sense, employee experience, what is it? First, the most important word, experience. Experience is something that happens to you and changes you, okay, in some way. Maybe it changes you like in a big sense, makes you take life choices, or changes you somehow that it changes something that you believed in, okay, and maybe you decide um, mm, uh, to act differently since that moment on. Okay, so experience is something that happens to you and changes you in some way. Okay, in that sense, uh, employee experience and the what we live as at work, no, at the offices, okay, at the at the workplace, is something that of course changes us. Let's let's consider that we are more than 48 hours, or we were working more than 48 hours in the office, okay, and we are surrounded by people that of course we are changed by them, by the dynamics of the relationships that we build, or we do not build with them, okay. So in that sense, since we live a lot, or live a lot at the workplace, so these experiences changes us, and hopefully it could change us positively, right? But there are some times that it change us negatively. In that sense, brands and companies cannot be silent or deaf, um, or cannot see this situation anymore. In that sense, they need to be conscious about it. They need to be conscious of what their brand really means, and these values of the brand not also being not also deliver them to the customers, but they need to have the same. They need to deliver them with the same enthusiasm and focus that it is delivered to the customers to the employees, because the employees, as we know, as anybody could relate now, they are the ambassadors of the brand, okay, through for the people, okay, even though that you are not facing customers, right, even though if you are not in the line of service, but you represent the company for the people surrounding you. You represent the brand to your family, to your friends, to your acquaintances, right? So in that sense, it is very, very, very important to review what employee experience means. We need to think about what the experience that we want the people to have. In that sense, we need to think of employee journeys, and there is not one employee journey, and there are a lot of employee journeys, to with depending on which of the departments or that you are working on, right? On the departments that you're working on. Maybe you're working for HR, but maybe in HR you are in charge of training and development, and maybe in HR, maybe you are working at payroll. Those responsibilities require different types of uh, employee engagement and relationships, because you are in a department that gives service to the company. It's very different an employee experience if you are in operations, if you are in charge of producing maybe the service of product, and it's a very different experience if you are working for sales and marketing, for the sales and marketing department. Okay, so there are a lot of employee journeys, but there is a main common brand experience that we can have as a fundamental, as a foundation, okay, in and from there build the experiences that we want to deliver to our collaborators. Sorry, I do not like the word employees, because it means it has a subtext of meaning something that is someone that is working for me or for the company. And no, right now we have to rethink that we people go to companies to add value. In that sense, we collaborate in the creation of value that is delivered to our clients. Either it is a company, it is a B2B, or if it is a B2C. Okay, so in that sense, uh, collaborators, okay, collaborators create value for the customer. So we as a company need to think that we need to deliver a brand experience for our collaborators, for the people that are here to add value and are creating value for the customer. That is the very important thing that we need to consider about thinking on bettering and improving the employee experience or the brand experience for the collaborators. Okay, brand experience is can has to be manifested or delivered. Sorry for my vocabulary, but I hope, I mean, my message is getting through. um, how how do we need to think, design, and deliver a brand experience? By three main medium, if we can say that. First, processes. Okay, I I know that you don't like to think the company as a system. I know that you like to think that there is some kind of that thinking of processes is a bureaucracy. But no, thinking of processes is thinking that the company is a system, that things have to be done, activities and tasks have to be completed over and over, day in and day out. Okay, so we can standardize them. Okay, in that sense, we do not have to invent the black thread, as we say here in Mexico, right? We do not need to invent the black thread, because it already exists. We can save us a lot of effort, time and resources to uh, through processes. And what processes do for people is that we have certainty of what we have to do, but also what is it is expected from us to do. Okay. This I learned when I was 17 years old. Imagine 30 years ago, because right now I'm 47. Imagine 30 years ago when I worked at McDonald's. It has been one of the greatest companies that I have worked for. And they taught me, okay, and they taught me through working with them that having clear processes and knowing what was expected for me, it is basic for the employee experience. Because in that sense, I knew what to do and which level I was going to be evaluated. Okay, I was going to be evaluated in a basic level in the way that I knew which steps were needed to come, were needed to be complied with, and also I was able to know which was my level of expertise and know-how. Okay, the first level is processes. Be clear of what people need to do for the company and how are they going to create value for the customer. The second, okay, let's put it like this: processes, the foundation. Then infrastructure. Infrastructure involves systems, and what we in customer experience strategists we know about, like um, the stage. Okay, I come from Disney. I was a cast member, so speaking about the stage is speaking about where the things happen. Okay, so for the employee, the stage is the workplace. Okay, the workspace. But the workspace doesn't need to just look nice. It has to respond to what the activity and the processes are about for those uh, positions. Okay, they have to be able to optimize and help the the the, the action of doing the process or doing those activities of doing those responsibilities. Okay, it doesn't need to be there. It it doesn't need to be an obstacle. It has to enhance the action. Okay, the stage also needs to portray, okay, and applying as the the senses here as the Disney Imagineers create the attractions. It has to appeal to to the people working in those offices. It has to appeal in an emotional way. They have to respond. The stage has to respond for the processes, but also has to be appealing, emotionally engaging. Okay, everybody wants to work in offices just like Google, but they don't need to look just like that. Okay, remember, they have to portray the brand values. Okay, and the systems for and in this way we need to understand that a company as a system has communication processes. Okay, and these communication processes through which data is transferred from one computer to another. Okay, and we transform it into a spreadsheet or in a Word document or in a report. Okay, these systems have to work flawlessly with the processes. That's why I call it infrastructure. Okay, processes, we need to know what to do, and this gives certainty. And the infrastructure gives and allows these activities to be performed at the highest level. Okay, but also it has to be emotionally appealing. And then the last and not least important uh, process of the three is these three. Imagine that this is processes, infrastructure. Imagine this vertical, and this third uh, guide. I don't remember the word in English right now. Sorry, but is the talent management processes. How you manage talent in your company. Okay, how you manage the people, and there are different ways of managing talent. Okay, so if you have the processes, that means that people know what to do and there is certainty of what is expected from them, and they have the tools and the space that make them feel comfortable, but not also comfortable, but helps them to uh, deliver and perform to the highest level. Then the evaluation of their talent, okay, should be a very well thought process, in the sense of it needs to help them to become better from what they were before. This means it's about helping them to transform into the better version of themselves. This is why it's called employee experience. Remember, we go back to the definition of experience, something that happens to you that changes you in a different way, changes it in some way. In that sense, we are at companies to become better people. What companies need to do is improve their processes, improve their infrastructure in the sense that helps them perform to the highest level and be appealing to the emotional way, portraying what the brand means, okay, what the brand is about, and then the talent management processes. It's about helping people to become the better version of themselves. Okay, and this is not new. Remember, Peter Drucker, for the ones that have read some of their books, he said that businesses are in the people transformation business. I'm gonna leave it there. Okay. I hope you enjoyed and it was clear you enjoyed the video and my explanation of what is an employee experience is about. Remember, I dedicate myself to evaluate a customer experience and employee experience based on all this knowledge that I have been developing for the last 20 years. Okay, so in that sense, I really hope that I can see you on the next video, or that we can see at a project. Okay, so take care. Have fun, and please comment if you like the video, or leave your question so that we can start dialoguing about it. Okay, take care and see you in the next video.